Megyn Kelly asked Vladimir Putin if he hacked U.S. election. What he said next changes everything. Russian President Vladimir Putin did an interview with NBC Megyn Kelly. In it, Megyn Kelly asked him to explain his claim that private, quote, patriotic hackers interfered in the U.S. presidential election. The second video below is even better than the first one. Vladimir Putin to Megyn Kelly, hackers can be everywhere.
You had said for months that Russia had nothing to do with the interference of the American election. And then this week you floated the idea of patriotic hackers doing it. Why the change?
Well, I hadn't said anything. It's just that French journalists asked me about those hackers. I told them the same thing I can tell you. Hackers can be anywhere. They can be in Russia, in Asia, even in America, Latin America. They can even be hackers, by the way, in the United States. Who very skillfully and professionally shifted the blame, as we say, onto Russia. Can you imagine something like that? In the midst of a political battle. By some calculations, it was convenient for them to release this information, so they released it, citing Russia. Could you imagine something like that? I can.
Hey NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel.
Vladimir Putin is a real to-the-point guy. Hackers can be anywhere. They can be in Russia, in Asia, even in America, Latin America. Putin said they can even be hackers, by the way, in the United States, who very skillfully and professionally shifted the blame, as we say, onto Russia. Can you imagine something like that in the midst of a political battle? By some calculations, it was convenient for them to release this information, so they released it, citing Russia, Putin added. Could you imagine something like that? I can. Here is what Vladimir Putin said about the Democrats' claim that Russia tried to influence the U.S. election. Megyn Kelly questions Vladimir Putin on election interference. Sorry about that, folks.
Mr. Putin, this week you told a French newspaper that Russia is being accused of interfering with the U.S. election by people who lost that election, who don't want to admit defeat. But all 17 of the United States intelligence agencies have concluded that the Russians did interfere with our election, and these are nonpartisan career professionals, Republicans and Democrats alike on Capitol Hill, including President Trump's supporters, and some are your defenders, who have seen the classified intelligence report, have all accepted this conclusion. And even private, nonpartisan security firms say the same, that Russia interfered with the U.S. election. Are they all wrong?
Have you read those reports?
I read the non-classified version.
Or the non-classified version, which is null and void. And who was your tailor? What about the pockets? What about the buttons? Do you have any claims about this suit, about the buttons? No, they are firmly tied, but you can't wear this suit. Can it happen? Yes, it did happen with one of our stand-up comedians, Mr. Aiken. And you've been telling me now about the non-classified versions. I read those reports.
Cheers from the audience.
Even in those reports there is no specific evidence, no facts, just assumptions, allegations, and conclusions based on the allegations, nothing more. You know, if there is something specific, concrete, we could discuss that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Earlier in the conversation, Putin likened the U.S. blaming its hacking on the Russians as the same blaming the Jews, and said that the newscaster's underage daughter could have been behind the hacking. That was a misprint. That's what he said. It should stop right here. The Democrats lost the election. They ran the worst candidate of all time, period. And there we have it. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.